This is the one with Bessie Superdrive.
Button-down hazmat suits.
Running in place.
Baby Benton.
Elton John.
Yet another version of the Fall of Atlantis.
And the... Time Ram.
It's called The Time Monster. Here we go. We're embarking on a voyage all through time and all through space.
Counting Daleks, Talent and the Cybertronic race.
Santarans look like taters and Silurians all have wonky scales.
And the Doctor has a TARDIS, we're reviewing all his tales. Who back when? Reviewing all of who there is. Who back when?
Subscribe and rate on iTunes, please.
Episode by episode, we're trudging down this temporal road. Come join us on this odyssey. What other choice could there be than Who back when?
Who back when? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode C064 of Who Back When, a Doctor Who podcast.
Or Docpast.
That's right.
It'll catch on. It'll catch on. We'll say it for every episode.
I think so. That's what I have been doing. Oh my god, finally. With me in the studio today is Nick. Hello, Nick.
Hey, how you doing, Pumpkin?
Oh, I didn't introduce myself. I'm Pumpkin. Hello.
Yeah.
And today we are looking at The Time Monster. It is the final... It's the season finale. And sort of anyway, and it is the penultimate Delgado serial.
Ooh.
And it is the last episode or serial that we have before we get to the anniversary.
Oh, and the Three Doctors.
Yeah. I know, I'm sorry, I'm super excited for the next one, basically, but yeah.
We've got to get through this first.
Yeah.
Well, be that as it may, should we jump into a bite-sized chunk of Who?
Let's do that. Time for us to synopsize,
clarify and summarize.
So take a view
and grab a brew
and listen to this overview, this free-for-all.
We like to call a bite-sized chunk of Who.
Bite-sized chunk of Who.
Posing as Professor Thescalos, the Master is using Cambridge University resources to summon the time-devouring Titan Kronos and presumably take over the world.
He, Doc, and Joe then travel back to Atlantis after first playing about being inside each other, where the Master tries to organize a sexy coup. Surprisingly, he's in over his head, though, and his new ally is not quite as controllable as he had anticipated. Also, there's a Minotaur. Bisca over, you are welcome. Aren't you just? We just mentioned the Minotaur. Can I just ask you?
Are you start?
Yeah.
Start with the Minotaur.
Can I just ask? Are you aware of who played the Minotaur?
Okay. Let me plumb that. Is it John Levine? Is it...
It was the son of Telly Savalas. No.
Is it Sonny Caldinas?
No.
Is it? I don't know.
It was David Prowse, a.k.a. Darth Vader.
Man, there's heavy on the Star Wars representation.
Yeah.
Because last classic, we had the guy that played...
we had Biggs, and we had... what's his... Lobot.
Lobot, yeah, from Empire.
Yeah. And now we've got Darth Vader himself.
He is cut.
I was going to say that. Holy smokeroonies and cheesecakes. I want those abs.
Yeah. But again, doesn't get to say anything.
No.
Apparently had a funny voice.
Yeah. You know, David Prowse was at Oxcon this year and last year. We didn't speak to him. We just literally walked past Darth Vader because we're here for Doctor Who.
Yeah.
He was on Doctor Who.
Oh, we should have been like, hey,
we're here because we heard that the Minotaur was going to be in Oxford.
I'm unaware of your other work. Starting with the Minotaur is like starting with dessert. Is that weird?
Yeah, sorry. I couldn't contain myself.
Fair enough.
Where would you like to start?
Let's start in Cambridge.
Okay.
Let's start with the Master, just sort of turning up as a professor that...
Professor Master.
Professor Master.
Yeah.
And later on he becomes Lord Master at some point, but yeah, anyway. He turns up at Cambridge, and the fucking Vice-Chancellor or whomever, or the head of that department goes, we haven't heard of anything you've ever done. We've never seen any of your papers.
You clearly faked your CV.
Yeah. Why isn't he just fired on the spot? Why was he hired at all?
Well, because it's only after the hiring process has been completed and after a significant portion of university funds have been funneled into his secret experiment that no one knows about, and it's only after he's been working there for quite some time and after he's been set up with his own office and only after he's been set up with his own science crew, 2 people anyway, right, that he manages, that people look into his credentials and maybe question their decisions.
That is 100% how academia works. I'm looking at you, Dr. Aaron Zimmerman. You need to tell it. That seems accurate to me, though.
If that's really your name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's that, but then subsequently
hypnotizes the chap, right?
hypnotizes the
Yeah.
chap, which leads me to the first obvious plot hole.
Oh, okay.
Why doesn't he hypnotize everyone at Cambridge that he comes across?
I feel like this is a deja vu. Do we not ask this question every single
we're
time
gonna
Delgado Master
park
shows
it,
up?
but it just straight off the bat, I was like, okay, but why did you wait till this point? Why did you go? Why did you jump through all the hoops? Why did you fake as if you didn't?
Why
do any of it.
are you trying to summon a time pigeon from Atlantis when all you need to do is, like, you need a megaphone and just hypnotize everyone? Problem solved. You also have a machine that slows down time for literally everyone. Do you need a time monster? Overall, okay, so hang on, let's say something else.
And he has a time machine.
You did yeah, you're right. Yeah, he does. He has a time machine. Yeah. You mentioned the last time that we did a classic review that you hadn't gone onto Facebook at all or scoured the interwebs for opinions. This time you did.
I did.
Yeah.
And the result was, again, it doesn't colour our opinion. We're way too long in the tooth now. We're far too far down the temporal road to give a shit about other people's opinions. It's too much. Or at least they don't colour ours. But I think, so this was the big, the lovely Facebook group that we're part of is, they're diehard fans. So they tend to score high.
Yeah.
For the love. We're a little bit more critical, but they still score half it up. And this one got, not roundly slated, but I would say 4 out of 5 replies, of which there were many, were slatings, and then the occasional, I love it, it's a guilty pleasure, that sort of thing. Which was a turn up for the books. I've never seen that much vitriol from
those hardcore
real fans. Yeah.
Also interesting there, I found a lot of people were saying, I say a lot of people, at least 3 people, I think, were saying this is one of the worst Pertwee serials overall, alongside something. It was alongside Colony in Space and The Mutants. And we both gave The Mutants 4 point something. Like, I think you gave it 4.4. I gave it 4.1, I think.
I love The Mutants. This is the pantheon of experience, right? But, like, I enjoyed The Mutants. And, you know, spoiler alert, I'm going to enjoy this more than I think most people do.
Yeah, same here.
I think that there's something in The Mutants, there's something in this that was conceptually adventurous.
Yeah.
Do you mean? Like, it wasn't just a celestial toy maker done in a different garb or whatever. This was like a whole different fucking thing, which I quite liked. It took place in like 2 different time periods, did the whole thing. We'll get to that in the review.
We will get to it.
So, dealt with a little bit of the Master in Cambridge.
Yeah. Well, hang on, there's lots more about the Master, though.
Oh, go on, hit me.
Okay, so the Master's built his machine, his Tom Tit.
I forgot about that.
Tom Tit, transmission of matter through interstitial time. Tom Tit.
So I googled Tom Tit.
Yeah.
To see if it was like Cockney rhyming slang or something.
It is.
For shit.
Shit.
Yeah.
It's also a bird.
It's also a bird.
And in Sweden, in Södertälje, to be specific, there is a science museum called Tom Tit's Experiments. I have no idea why it's called that.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, I mean, is this just like the writers chucking in something fun for the adults?
Maybe.
You know? I feel like that's some shit that wouldn't get broadcast now.
Isn't that kind of ridiculous, though? Like, why would you make that joke? Are the writers thinking, this is actual garbage?
Maybe. Maybe it's subliminal. But it made me laugh every time they said it. The Tom Tit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kept thinking, is there something else that a Tom Tit is? You know, is Tom Tits, does this have something, my mind automatically goes to this science museum in Sweden. It's like a super popular thing for kids.
Right.
So I was thinking, well, hang on.
Mine just goes to feces. Like immediately.
Just feces, like that's the default setting of your brain.
Yeah, Tom Tit.
Poo.
Feces, yep.
Okay. So I was thinking, well, maybe there's a science connection here. Maybe Tom Tit actually means something else. You know, was there a Mr. Tit? Mr. Tom Tit? But yeah, obviously no. I'm not 100% serious, I should say this. But I mean, I figured maybe there's a science connection in some way. Like, why would you name a science museum Tom Tit's Experiments, and then here in a sci-fi show you have Tom Tit? But no, it's just a fucking bird and then smack the shit. That's it.
Yeah. So the experiment. So the experiment itself is the Cambridge scientists think it's to basically make some sort of transporter.
Yeah, it's like the proto-TMAT.
Proto-TMATs.
Yeah.
Tom Tit to TMAT.
Yeah.
Like it. Okay. That fucking works.
It totes malotes works. Mission accomplished, guys. You don't even need the Master for this, by the way.
Now, see, I got the follow-up from this, sort of like once the arc is completed or whatever. The science is still sound. just do what you did to the crystal and don't go too much because you'll summon a bird that devours time, right? But if you stay within the normal range, you could get that lamp from here to there.
I guess, yeah. Surely that must help people.
That must.
Yeah.
Just like I said, if you go one click too far to the right.
But is it because you need whatever energy is in that silly crystal?
Yes, or the
trident
you do
crystal
something to the
thingy.
crystal. You reverse its polarity.
So without the crystal, there is
there's no
device.
Yeah.
There's no function. So they have been operating under the assumption that there will be no crystal, right? Because he doesn't steal the crystal until he steals the crystal.
No, the crystal exists as part of the thing already.
Oh, does it?
A fragment. So the master has already sourced this fragment.
Oh, you know what? You're right. Sorry, I forgot.
But when the priest dude shows up, he's like, "Oh, this is a mere,
That is the worst cliffhanger.
it's a
by
chipper,
the way. That is the worst cliffhanger.
yeah."
Here, we've brought some geriatric across. I assumed when that chap showed up, I was like, wait, is that Kronos? Like, is that what you're doing now? Yeah. And there's like, no, he's just some old dude from Atlantis. I don't mean to be disrespectful to the elderly, but some old dude from Atlantis does not a cliffhanger make.
Also, he turns up all like, I am the high priest of, Kronos and all that sort of shit. And then he just turns into a bitch immediately. Like, first he's like super...
Oh, but you have handles on your doors.
Yeah.
Your trousers zip up? What kind of black magic is this?
I know much more about this Kronos than you do. I know how all of this works, but that goatee has got something
magical.
Else, so, yeah.
Does the master hypnotize him as well, though?
I'm not sure he does, because I don't think Atlanteans, or certainly someone like this priest or later the king, can be hypnotized.
Oh, your Jedi mind tricks don't work on me.
Exactly. Only money. Super racist, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Super racist.
Hooray
anyway.
for anti-Semitism in Lucasfilm. Okay. Where were we?
So we were talking about the master and the tomtits and thing. Okay, let's talk real quick aside the other
Scientist.
co-researcher and the research assistant.
Ingram and Stu.
Yeah. How did you feel about Ingram and Stu?
Okay.
Do you know what? I'll jump in.
Yeah, go
quickly.
for it. Yeah.
I would watch a sitcom in which Ingram and Stu live together, but they're a kind of an odd couple, but like there's tension, there's sexual tension there, but I don't know, will they, won't they? I would watch this.
He's a bit of a cavalier, to use his own expression, and she cannot stop ham-fisting criticism of the patriarchy into every single sentence.
Yeah.
That would be a fun sitcom. Yeah.
I would watch.
It would be a fun sitcom that would bomb after half a season. Yeah.
Once they jump the shark and actually kiss, then it'll just be like awful, and they adopt a kid or something, like.
Oh, and then they trans-mad it across the room, and
yeah. Turns out the kid's a robot. It's a whole thing.
I could watch
the show writes itself.
Yeah. Stu, I thought, was hilarious. He was really, really just well written, fun, witty. Kind of didn't even give a shit when he turned 90.
And of the 6th episode, aside from the recurring characters Pertwee Hotel, he was the best looking chap. He was a handsome chap.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
He was more handsome than the guy that never wears a shirt and has way too much mascara. Like, that guy needs to see the inside of a gym quick.
Are you talking about...
the pigeon-chested Starscream.
Wait, hang on. So is this the lover of the Queen of Atlantis?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
He was such a dick.
Wasn't he?
I really disliked him. I thoroughly disliked that man.
Everything about him. Yeah. I'm glad he didn't have a real storyline.
Yeah. I'm very pleased as well. Doesn't he get killed by the...
Yes, by the Minotaur. He gets thrown by what, quote-unquote, glass. Like, it's just tinfoil and a glass smashing sound effect. But I'm glad David Prowse killed him.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the Minotaur kills him, and then it's just like Atlantean robes fall to the ground. But okay, so Ingram anyway.
Yeah.
Ingram I felt was not as well written. Like, they were trying to do something fairly bold for the time, I think, with this expressly feminist character who's cleverer than everyone else in the room and who's really good at a job and yada yada. But then, I feel like it almost went too far with the, he's just a man, and, you're supposed to be the superior gender, yada, yada, yada. There are so many references to that it just goes overboard. and becomes uncharismatic, I feel. Also, she was pretty sexist herself.
Did she remind you of Dr. Liz Shaw at all? That's what I was, you know, I had that.
Oh, no,
parallel.
actually, no, I don't. I didn't feel that at all.
I felt that way.
What, you mean because she's also a scientist and...
A scientist took no intellectual backsteps to any of the, you know, men in the room, as it were.
Well...
was pretty ballsy because she went and, you know, did the experiment without those people, you know, went after the crystal without, you know, without permission. She was pretty gung-ho. I was basically a big fan of Ingram.
I was a big fan of every aspect, every idiosyncrasy of Ingram's, except for the let's really underscore the fact that she's a feminist.
Now, see,
aspect.
the feminist aspect...
I think that just failed on the part of the writers, unfortunately.
My interpretation as well, a little bit, was that these are people that don't necessarily believe in the feminist ideal, and they were using it as a bit of a weird device between Ingram and... what's that dude's name? Stu.
Yeah.
Because they have a couple of tete-a-tetes, and it's like chemistry, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, that's kind of the opposite of the point there, guys. But anyway, no, for the most part, the serials were richer for both of them.
Yeah, I agree. Since we're talking about them and about the feminism aspect, can I just call out 2 sound bites?
Hear me.
Here's one of Stu. This is episode 1, 11 minutes, 10 seconds in.
But do you think how much you've put into it? It's a joint affair. I reckon you've as much right to take a decision as he has.
Well...
Of course, if you need a man in charge.
That does it. We go ahead.
That's my girl.
Fucking hell.
Outspoken feminists, that's my girl. And then the second soundbite is of Ingram talking to Benton. Episode 4, 17 minutes, 10 seconds.
Oh, what about me?
You just stand there and look pretty.
Oh man, the 70s were a simpler and much worse time, weren't they?
Different science reference. We get to see a time sensor in this serial.
Yes, and that
it
is...
looks like a dick.
All time sensors look like dicks.
Does it not look exactly like a dick? It's got like those pristine balls, and then it goes up like there's the shaft of the meter.
Do you think the writers were just fucking with us?
100%. Well, not the writers. I think this is the production crew.
Yeah.
They're just going, make it look like a penis.
Yeah.
Like, just make it look like a penis. And then probably they're also thinking, like, you know, they're twirling their 70s mustaches and going like, make Joe handle the penis detector, you know, which really counteracts the feminism aspect that Ingram brings into play. But yeah, I think that's explicit. I think that is deliberate.
What did you think about the exchange leading up to the time sensor? Do you like the time sensor? Do you know what it does, Joe?
Does it sense time? No, I can't remember.
Yeah,
what is this?
It's like sense time. Well, look at that. You're learning.
Oh.
She's like, she's clearly got like intergalactic daddy issues because like any little fucking bone he throws her after being a dick for like 6 serials.
Yeah, she's super
just
happy.
Like,
he noticed me.
Yeah. It's it's kind of cloying, actually, to be honest. I mean, it's fun, and it leads into when the Doc has quote unquote died.
Yeah.
In the serial, but you know,
and the time pigeon eats him.
Yeah, and he gets sucked up into the vortex, or whatever. And then he's quickly rematerialized by like a button.
There's you're stuck in interstitial time, or wherever is it in interstitial time?
I think it might be
he's
interstitial.
Stuck in interstitial time. There is literally no way out. He will be there forever / never, because there's no such. It's between now and now. He is boned beyond belief. Press the anti-interstitial time button. Also, we've conveniently set up that the TARDIS is telepathic so that we can then have him telepathically communicate with the TARDIS later on.
Yeah. It did, though, that little exchange where you keep calling it she as if it's alive. It's like, well, in a way. And that's nice because that means now from now on, you know, there's like lovely precedent, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I did as well. I mean, this is the first time, isn't it?
I think so.
I think so as well. I think this is the first time even that he refers to the TARDIS as she. Which, okay, maybe that's not that uncommon if it's like if it's a ship, for example. Yeah. But regardless, very cool. Very cool stuff. What do you think of people running in place?
Love people running in place.
Yeah.
Always love people running in place. Especially because they've clearly, like, there's somewhere between those, well, we'll slow this down, but like when one person is normal speed, you're going to have to just walk slowly.
Like, literally just like Bagel's ears, the $6 million man.
Exactly. And I fucking love that. That was amazing. You can see he's just like, use all of your acting.
Yeah, his mustache is like reverberating under his nose.
It's a school. It's like a module at RADA. It's just like, okay, we're all going to do slow motion. Yeah,
I can totally see that happening. Like all of these incredibly famous stage actors at some point just had to run slowly.
Yeah. I loved it. I really did. I didn't really so the timey-wimey shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of best and worst part about this serial, right?
The fact that they tried is the best part.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're back to my whole conceptually adventurous thing.
Yeah.
Full of admiration. What I don't basically, do you know the bit where one TARDIS is inside the other and the time ram and all that sort of shit?
Yeah.
And like you go out and it's in and they're fucking with each other by doing various things with the light. That was super cool. But like halfway through I was a bit like, is this a little bit like the architect in
the Matrix?
Reloaded? It's like, is he just saying shit? Or like, if the writer just go like, if we just say enough stuff in a row, people will zone out and it'll all sound clever by default.
Yeah.
But that's where I got to with that point a little bit. But yeah, that bit was fun with the whole like, oh, now he's speaking backwards. Now he's like, it's like, you know, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the speaking backwards bit was a little on the naff side.
I was okay with it.
In general, I've said this before on still, and I think I say this every time, on the few occasions that Doctor Who does this, and I'm still perplexed that it is so rare a thing, given that it's a show about time travel, very rarely is time an actual narrative element. And when they do use time as a plot device, it's super interesting.
But see, in this instance, they don't actually use it as a really necessary plot device. If you take all the time bits out, other than going back to Atlantis.
Yeah, I guess you end up not having that void, quote unquote, like the interstitial time, and maybe you have to explain Tom Tit differently
a little bit, but like
you actually don't even why would you even need to? You're right. Why would you need to incorporate time into Tom Tit? Why can't it just be a TMAT situation? Yeah. And it's like, well, we're going to beam someone. Well, I guess you have to beam someone through time as well. But you don't have to beam someone between times.
No.
That's nonsense. But I'm very glad that they did.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. That being said, I think we could probably have shaved about an episode and a half off this serial.
Yeah. Just by like getting rid of those sorts of things. I wonder. So we'll return to 6-parters. Do you know anything about that? Like where are the 4-parters at?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, you know what? I'm super curious now. Shall we have a look?
Let's.
All right, let's have a look. Okay. Well, first of all, the next episode is a 4-parter.
Hey,
that's the 3 Doctors. Oh, it's a bit of a mix. So going forwards, season 10 is the next season. We have, I'm just going to rattle off the amount of episodes. We have 4, 4, 6, 6, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 6, 4, 4, 2, 6, 4. Yeah.
That was great.
That came with a little dance, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, you missed that. But yeah, so it's a mix. It's a mix.
Okay.
By the way, so next season, season 10, that's the penultimate season of Pertwee.
Oh, shit.
Tom Baker shows up in season 12. Holy shit!
I mean, there's still quite a lot to get through, but...
Yeah, whatever, man. Like, we've got, 1, 2, 3, 4... There are 5 episodes per season. We've got 10 more Pertwees after this. That's not a whole lot.
But like mid next year?
I don't know. How many have we done? 4, 9, 14. We've done 14 Pertwees.
Where does the time go? Or the space?
How did you feel about Benton turning into a fucking baby?
How did you feel, Leon? I feel like you've got some things to say.
Ugh, my only note there when that happened in episode 4 was, Christ, Benton's a baby. I'm not in favor of this. I mean, A, I'm not in favor of babies, okay?
But B, everyone gets to see his wang later.
Yeah.
Fully grown wang.
Yes. Yeah. And he's clearly...
pretty happy with it.
Yeah. He's like, you're even my commanding officer. Maybe it's one of those, like, you've already seen this, Bagels. Like, you know what this is about. Regardless, he is pretty chuffed to be naked on Cambridge University grounds.
Yeah, he's just in the helicopter.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Swinging around. Yeah. Ingram is right next to him. Is Joe in the room as well?
Joe's in the room. Everyone's in the room.
Everyone's in the room.
Yeah. The Benton baby bit, the Stu old person bit as well.
I like the Stu old person.
You like the Stu old person bit? Me too. But I feel like they didn't make him look old enough. Just look like he just not shaved and grown like more hair. I don't know. And
just ran into a chalk factory.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, man, your Einstein costume's coming along. Like, what's that?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. I was not that fussed about the time bits and the time devouring bits. Having said that, nice parallel with the something that eats time and the angels.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, things that eat time
Yeah.
as a concept is sort of rich. Like, there's lots to explore there. They didn't really do it with Kronos.
It's slightly different here, though, right?
Oh, it's very different.
The
It's very
angels,
different,
they feed on the potential energy of the life that they have now rewritten. Sort of makes no sense.
It
but
doesn't really make any sense.
whatsoever. We've had a different species on Who Back When, though. We've encountered a different species on Who Back When that actually ate time, and they were called, I think, oh, maybe don't quote me on this one. They were called vortisaurs, I think.
Ooh.
And they're like basically pterodactyls who fly around in the vortex, I think. Oh, wait, hang on.
Kronos is like a weird birdie
Bird dude, yeah.
I mean, and he isn't all at the same time.
Hang on, now I'm thinking it's not vortisaurs. Now I'm thinking there are different aliens that ride the vortisaurs that fly around in the vortex. Yeah. This is from an audiobook.
Oh, okay.
Can't remember which one
Yeah,
now.
sure.
Look up vortisaurs.
What did you think of Kronos?
He's a dude in a pigeon outfit.
But not even like a Ku Klux Klan pigeon outfit. Like, yeah,
No,
like
this
a
is-
pointy head.
Yeah, I mean, say what you will about the Ku Klux Klan. Those
They don't
guys-
eat time. That's one of their things.
It's one of their things.
Their thing.
Also, really good at bird outfits.
Yeah.
In this case,
8 crosses. Perfectly fine with time. I think. Actually, I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, they're magicians, right?
They're wizards.
Wizards is the word.
They're
Sorry.
not magicians.
Well, it's like I didn't mean they practice magic. I meant like they call themselves like grand wizard, right?
Grand
That's
wizard.
yeah. Anyway, fuck it. Enough about the Ku Klux Klan.
And, yeah, this is way too much Ku Klux Klan.
The time pigeon in this one. I mean, did you at any point feel like, yeah, I can see how this is gonna ruin the universe? No. It's just like someone accidentally, like they had the window open, a pigeon flew into the room, and now
A man with a very specific fetish of like he wants to be a bird and a gimp all at the same time.
It's like a furry but feathery.
Yeah,
Like
feathery.
Yeah,
I like that very much. No, I can see that. How easily he was controlled by like a medallion when he's supposed to be the devourer of time.
Just to tell him.
Or like you said, we sort of discussed this a little bit, Kronos and the actual mythology with the Titan that ate all his children
kids.
and Zeus like one of his children being Zeus and Poseidon, etc.
You know, this is... Oh, sorry, that reminded me of something else. Go for it.
And then, he ate a stone or something, made him very sick, and then he vomited up all of the other children, all the rest of the gods that he just...
I don't know the story.
Yeah, something. Drew would be better at this.
The thing that pissed me off about this is the same thing that pissed me off about the Minotaur. We're on Atlantis.
Yeah.
Is Atlantis really a Greek island?
I mean, no, it was a Greek city. I'm not even sure if it was necessarily an island that slid off into the fucking sea. I don't know.
Okay. Well, regardless, the Minotaur was not there. The Minotaur...
No, that was in Athens, somewhere else.
No, I don't think it was Athens.
I don't know.
Is it Theseus or Perseus who...
Theseus is the Minotaur.
Yeah.
Perseus is...
the Golden Fleece and so on. No, that's Theseus as well, isn't it?
David.
No.
Just a guy called David.
Dave.
No,
Everyone's got a
no
mate
idea.
named Dave.
Jason.
No.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it's either Perseus or Theseus who encountered the Golden Fleece. This is a massive
Jason.
tangent. No! That's the Argonauts and shit.
And he gets a golden fleece.
Really?
Yeah.
But Jason and the Golden Fleece?
Yeah. Perseus has the... Theseus has the winged Pegasus, and Perseus...
Wait.
Medusa. Perseus is Medusa, and Theseus is the Minotaur.
I feel like one of those two chaps
I feel like he was the king of Athens.
had a whole bunch of different things that he had
I feel
to...
like Theseus had a minimum 2 things.
Yeah, I'm going to look at that.
Podcast gold, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know anything about Greek mythology.
So definitely Theseus and the Minotaur.
Right.
Perseus.
I'll say Medusa.
Also Medusa, but lots of different things.
Right.
Lots of different things.
Yeah.
Hang on.
But Jason and the Golden Fleece.
Oh, that's what I was going to look up, wasn't it? Hang on.
If you shout loud enough, podcast land, we will hear you.
Yeah, you're right. It's Jason and the Golden Fleece.
Yeah, suck on it. I know loads of stuff about Greek stuff. If that doesn't make it to the podcast, it has to go in the blues. Some lazy dick sucking as well.
Okay, so where were we?
I don't know. Kronos.
That's what it was. I did not I was not in favor of Kronos as Kronos appeared in this serial.
Yeah.
Because it was literally just, like, whenever the Master wanted something destroyed, he would just open the bird box, and the bird would flap around.
He could have just shot someone. Or, like, do you mean like the...
hypnotize them.
Yeah. Kronos' function seemed to be go after or like, you know, as the Master used him, was to devour very specific people.
Yeah.
Right? Rather than have like a big grand plan. So what I'm going to do with Kronos is like eat this bit of time, you know, or like refactor whatever.
Well, I mean, shouldn't his plan have been like, okay, I'm going to use Kronos to kill the Doctor, kill Bagels, kill the president of the world, of the Earth,
Yeah.
and then I'll be the president of the Earth, because that's ultimately what I want to be, right?
Apparently.
I think so. Isn't that he basically just wants to rule the Earth, or possibly destroy it? Which one?
I think it's rule and...
I think so too. Sort of enslave the Earth.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then, I guess now I'm boned because Kronos is free. By the way, he peels out of there when Kronos is free on Atlantis.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we get another version of Atlantis dying, or falling, and then he bones out of there, at which point would he not now consider, like, all of Earth's future, his present, whatever?
Completely fucked.
Exactly.
Yeah?
Because Kronos isn't going to be stuck in that one time. Kronos is now going to be, you know, he's eating the Earth.
Yeah, or she.
She?
Yeah, later on she's a she.
Yeah. You're
Or
right.
it obviously transcends anything like earthly gender or time and space, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got loads of things.
Yeah, let's hit me.
We haven't really talked about this extensively before. The design of the Master's TARDIS.
Oh, we've got a new TARDIS.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just the design...
Master, but the new TARDIS, the like salad bowl TARDIS.
Yeah, which clearly is the same set that they're using for the Master's TARDIS, because coincidentally he redesigned his at the same time.
Yeah. Tell me about TARDISes.
The only thing that I know about this TARDIS is that it was not met with public approval.
Right.
So they redesigned the TARDIS. They redesigned the Doctor's TARDIS. Then they clearly just went, well, we just redesigned the TARDIS. We're going to use it. Let's just replace the center bits, whatever that's called, like the console.
Yep.
Not the console, just the thing that goes up and down, the bobby bits.
The time plunger.
The time plunger, technical term, of the Master's TARDIS, and then now this is the Master's new TARDIS. But people hated this, and then for the next season, so this is the season finale, season 9, the next season, season 10, between seasons, it just got damaged somehow. I don't know if this is deliberate or if it was just stored poorly, whatever. So they had to redesign it again. So this is the only serial in which we get to see this version of the TARDIS.
Ooh.
From the next season on, there will be a new TARDIS, which I don't know what it looks like, but that TARDIS was met with public approval.
Ah.
Yeah.
Specific TARDIS.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interior, I mean. The roundels look completely different.
Yeah. But yeah, so the outside, I mean, at one point we've got the TARDISes side by side in the sort of ending, in the interstitial time, where the Master makes the greatest getaway of all time.
Oh, remind me.
He just sort of like pushes them, and we're like, okay, I'm It's not really as artful, like, you know, steal an ice cream van or whatever. Like, he just sort of pushes them. And then leaves.
That's a great way of doing this.
Look over there, a distraction. Oh, actually, so there is a good soundbite. Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't written down any of the timings for it.
Okay.
Don't worry, I need to find this. But
maybe
at some point, Joe says, were you going to say curses foiled again? Which is sort of like a Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo thing, yeah.
Fucking brilliant. I like how self-referential, actually, this writing has become.
I've completely missed that, but yes, agree with you.
Should we talk Atlantis? Because that is the second half. So there's a portion that happened in Cambridge, and now... But they're like the politicking and quite a lot of the
Yeah, we need to talk about Atlantis.
Yeah, so it's kind of like two serials.
It is, yeah, very much so.
So let's talk about Atlantis. The characters.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm very glad that we finally get to meet Queen Booby McGee, because she's been the face of Atlanteans.
I knew. I was giving you like a whole chance there to like start with the king or talk about like the... But yeah.
No, I'm not saying this. I'm only saying this because she has been the face of Atlanteans in the Vindex since the Underwater Menace, and I didn't know even which Doctor we would encounter, like Technicolor, well, not Technicolor, but color TV Atlanteans again. So I'm pleased to see that. Yeah,
right.
Bingo, that happened.
What's her name again? Gluna.
Let's go with Gluna. That sounds about right.
I really fucked that up. And now she's
Gloria Gluna.
Gluna forever.
She will reappear on Doctor Who in Warriors of the Deep from 1984.
Presumably that's another Atlantean.
Oh, I wonder, as Dr. Solo. Dr. Solo. Oh, do you know what Warriors of the Deep is?
First name, Hans.
Hans. Oh, fuck, I can't do it. Warriors of the Deep, just super duper quick notes. It features both Silurians and Sea Devils.
Ooh.
Yeah. And as Peter Davison serial. Yeah. Didn't really like her as a character. Didn't really like the King as a character. It was interesting how the King was like, oh, the Master! I will react to the Master like this. Oh, the Doctor! Come in, Doctor!
Yeah. You're clearly a learned guy who can help us. What? There's nothing about them that's been different so far.
Absolutely nothing, except for the goatee.
Yeah, it's just like, can't trust a guy in an airy suit.
No, and who very clearly sends off googly eyes at my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except he wouldn't even notice that because his wife is taking what's-his-face to Pound Town. What's his face? What's Gluli's... Gluna, sorry. What's Gluna's lover's name?
Something like Jim.
Gluna and Jim. Gluna and Jim. Oh, yes, that's that avant-garde French film. Gluna et Jim.
I don't know. The pigeon-chesty guy with all the makeup. Yeah.
So
Prince something or other.
Prince Jim. So the king doesn't not notice that his wife and Jim are boning down.
It sort of reminds me of like Troy, like as in the Iliad, right? Like
in what sense?
In like Paris taking.
Yeah.
Whatever his fucking name's was.
Can't remember. Helen.
But whatever his name was.
Menelaus?
Menelaus, yeah. That sort of whole bit. A little bit. I'm not really sure why. Just because it's Greek.
Yeah, sure. Fair enough.
King, and he sort of reminded me of King Priam. I don't know. Whole thing.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
fine.
Whatever.
All right. One note that I made about Atlantean society. This is from episode 5. I'm just going to read it out. I've written, even in 70s BBC's Atlantis, the white people are carried around by people in colour.
Yeah.
So Atlantis ruled by white people who have, it seems, black slaves.
Peculiar.
Right? And completely unnecessary.
Super unnecessary. I mean, I don't know anything about... but clearly you don't know much about that area of history, even though it's mythology, so actually you do whatever the fuck you feel like.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But... No, I
reacted unnecessary,
yeah, quite negatively to it. It's just like, I don't understand why you just did this. And if you're going to have, fine, I get she's a queen and she has slaves or she has servants that carry her around. Why did these people have to be coincidentally the only non-white people on screen? It's a step back. We've just had a number of occasions where we've gone like, oh, finally some progress in that department. But no, this is a step back, I feel.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, that's a fair point. What did you think of the Atlanteans and their like weird politics and the sexy coup?
There was a lot more potential there that wasn't explored. I would quite like to have seen a serial that is set solely in Atlantis above sea level, as opposed to Underwater Menace when Atlantis was underwater. We've been to Atlantis before, on Who Back When, I mean, or on Doctor Who. And at that time, it was after Atlantis had sunken, and it was a very different kind of... Like, Atlantis in The Underwater Menace is a shithole. I wouldn't want to go there. They've got, like, fish people, and there's... What's-his-face? Professor Zaroff has taken over. Like, it is not a nice place at all. And this place looked like, okay... Politics and racism aside, like, yeah, I could probably spend it's a good getaway. It's a city break. Like, I'll go to Atlantis for a weekend. I would have liked to have seen a serial set solely in this vision of Atlantis with all the politics and with it felt like watching Rome or something, you know, like you have all the different houses and there are different rules to these things and you can only enter from certain, I like that. I think that's super exciting, but we don't get to explore that at all in this serial.
Yeah.
And then there's this, the backstory of, oh, well, there's a monster downstairs. The king has something downstairs. We don't really know what it is. That protects something else. We don't really know what it is. And it just turns out, oh, he's got a minotaur and he protects the crystal. Problem solved, done. And it's pretty easy to beat that minotaur. I feel like I'm babbling here.
No.
They set up so much. They did so little with it.
That's true. It really was just a sort of, it was just a, sort of Macbeth style, engineering yourself to the top type of, by the time we got to Atlantis, it was just the master trying to convince people, the queen to
Yeah, but this is what the master does in every situation.
And then people
right?
aren't as compliant as he thinks.
Except in this case, they were.
Version of reality of
one
Earth does he want? Does he want the Atlantean version or the Cambridge version?
That's a good question. Wait, hang on. Why does he go to Atlantis in the first place?
Because he needs the big crystal.
Oh, right.
He needs the big crystal.
To do what exactly?
To summon Kronos.
He already has summoned Kronos.
Yeah, but properly or something? I don't know.
This makes no sense.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The jibby jab guy, the priest.
The jibby jab guy?
Says so.
You don't give me no more of your jibba jabba.
Exactly. He's the guy that says you need to go back to Atlantis.
All right.
Basically, none of the... It's always that thing, isn't it? The driving force doesn't seem that that with the master. It's always a bit like, why, buddy? Or like, why did you just do it different? I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, a scene I did like is the end, or the sort of the interstitial bit, where there's the two, where Kronos is like, actually, this is the form I take now, because...
Yeah, I'm actually fairly civilized and intelligent. I'm not just a flappy bird dude.
And sometimes I'm a flappy bird dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a bitch. I'm a lover. I'm a
big old flappy bird dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you like that?
I did. Sort of. Do you know,
that felt very Star Trek-y to me.
That's exactly what it reminded me of when they give me God, quote unquote.
Oh, in Final Frontier. Yeah, that definitely rang a bell as well. I was thinking more of the TOS episode when they go to the planet with the Greek gods.
Oh, yeah.
But it does, but yeah, you're right, that as well, especially since you have like a face in the sky.
Yeah.
But it did feel very Star Trek-y in the sense of, all right, so they're just two dudes in front of a green screen and we're just having a laugh, However, very much Deus Ex Machina. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
Again, could maybe not a little bit more have been done with that?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, the Kronos aspect, just like, it would have been cool if Kronos had more of a personality up to that point, like a will or a thought. Like how in the daemons have personality, or the daemon.
Yeah, I guess.
It would kind of be cool to hear from Kronos, to later on say, yeah, actually, I'm all sorts of things, I'm a god with many faces. It's like, so why a pigeon dude? Like, why a pigeon dude?
Yeah, so Kronos is, it's somewhat annoying that Kronos has been the time pigeon the entire time, seems to have no control over him or herself, no intellect, no motivation behind their actions. And then at the end, just as you need anything to solve, the problem at hand, Kronos becomes a godlike entity that can solve literally any problem, and that basically turns itself into a genie, because Kronos just goes, you know what, I'll do anything you like. What do you want me to do? Yeah, all right, save this dude. Done. Fucking leprechaun is what Kronos is. So sorry, I'm really bobbing back and forth now. In the end, I think I'm going to say I don't like Kronos. Fair. I like the execution of that scene, as in visually, I like that scene at the end, but I don't like Kronos in general. Kronos is a piece of shit. Did you like the Venusian saying of, if the Thraskin puts his finger in his ears, it's polite to shout? Thraskin obviously being the old word for plinge.
Of course. No, that was actually quite fun.
Okay. How about this? We find ourselves in a world not only with Elton John, because we do get to see an Elton John poster, but this is a world in which James Bond and Batman also exist.
Also great.
Yeah, because we get this soundbite from episode 4, 330.
Look, mate, you're paid to play the James Bond games. I'm a scientist.
Stuart, really?
And from episode 1, 1915.
I'll get them to send some sandwiches across to you.
Good thinking, Batman.
So they exist. This is a world in which there is such a thing as Batman. It's really weird, I think. Okay, yeah, we haven't really talked about bagels. But there's not much to say. However, there is one soundbite of bagels which, even though it's slightly lackluster in this one, it's not entirely unlike in, is it the Daemon? Yeah, it's in the Daemons when he's like, fire.
That chap over there.
Chap with the wings.
Yeah, chap with the wings.
5 rounds rapid. In this one, he goes, Soundbites, episode 2, 555.
I'll want light and heavy machine guns. Owen Yates, shove a couple of anti-tank guns in the boot, will you? Over.
You got tanks there, sir? Over.
You never know, Captain, you never know. Over.
Yeah, have you got tanks there? Never know.
You never know, yes. Oh, what did you think of the rocket?
Oh, yeah, that sounds like a mobile, the Doodle-Bug.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, actually I found that quite chilling, in a way.
How did you find that entire sequence where the Master is conjuring up
I got pretty
bits
confused.
of history?
I got a little confused there, certainly.
Okay.
But it sort of started to make sense. But, like, the Doodle-Bug I found pretty chilling since, like, it's in living memory for a fuckload of the people watching them.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's not... would you play a thing in Syria like 20 years from now?
Probably not. Maybe slightly poor taste?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't love it.
Yeah.
Made me feel awkward. I remember people from like my childhood, you know, sort of growing up in Portsmouth, telling us about doodle bugs and, you know, and the sound they would make or whatever. And it's like,
oh, really?
Sounds awful.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I don't know how much damage they ever did.
And this was when? This was in 70-something?
Yeah, so like,
73 or something?
20, 30 years hence.
Yeah.
Bit weird.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Actually, I hadn't considered that aspect of it, but yeah. Yeah, fair point. I thought that that sequence of scenes was entirely ridiculous. Oh, okay, so now you have a jousting chap. What else? I can't remember. Soldiers
There was
show
like
up.
artillery and yeah.
Yeah, it was really ridiculous. So what, is the Master just able to summon various bits
but
of
there's more
history?
to it, right? So if I'm like a colonial soldier or whatever, or like a...
Yeah.
And I turn up, and I'm just in the English countryside and there's some people in front of me, I don't immediately start shooting them.
Are you sure you don't? I mean, it seems like this serial proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that is exactly what happens. They just continue acting as though nothing happened. The chap who's jousting, he tries to joust with a jeep or whatever it is. He doesn't go, witchcraft, like what is this thing?
Yeah.
What is this monster that comes at me without horses?
Or like the cloning guy's like, those look like funny Zulus.
Yeah. So I didn't like that scene at all, or that sequence at all.
And now it is time to rate this. Did we laugh or hate this? Bing bong, hey, la 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 la.
Ratings.
Go for it.
Right, so it's mixed for me.
Yeah.
It's way more mixed than I think probably when we get round to the minis it will be. I'm sure they're all going to slate it. And it wasn't great because there's these two halves. They didn't necessarily work together. You know, the Master was doing the same old Master shit, which I wasn't particularly compelled by. I thought Katie Manning and Pertwee did decent like versions of themselves.
We haven't talked about Joe at all.
No, well, I'll talk about her a little bit.
Go for it,
I
go for
thought the daddy issues definitely bothered me a little bit, but she seemed to have more agency and all those sort of things in this. You know, she certainly came into her own a little bit. I think just generally speaking, the Atlantis bit was more interesting to me than the first half, probably. But again, I'll come back to the same phrase. It was conceptually adventurous. They just didn't carry off any of the elements, but I'm not necessarily that upset with it. I stayed with it for all 6 episodes, and we probably could have cut some out. So I'm going to go middling. I'm going to go like 2.8.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
2.8?
2.8.
Oh, wow. I think all right.
It's on the better side of average for me.
Interesting. Okay, you know what? I enjoyed this, despite the fact that it's not a good serial in my view. Your point that this is actually 2 serials shoved into one is incredibly true. And unfortunately, we didn't really get to enjoy either one of them, I feel, for that reason. I would have liked to have seen more about Atlantis. I would have liked slightly more exploration of the time aspect, the temporal aspect of the whole thing, without the time pigeon. Like, I want to know more about the technology of like what happens between now and now. That, to me, super duper interesting, but then just saying it and never revisiting it doesn't help. However, I am bumping up the score a little bit because, as on prior occasions, whenever time is used as an actual narrative tool, that makes this series slightly more interesting and edgy. Acting across the board, I think, was probably good. Maybe not so much on the Atlantis side. Delgado's amazing. I'm really sad that this is the penultimate appearance of Delgado Master. The look's awesome. Joe's awesome. Benton's naked. Overall, I enjoyed this episode more than I ought to have, and therefore I'm giving it a 2.0.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alright.
So it's a subpar episode. I mean, had it not been so enjoyable, it's somewhere in the ones for me, to be honest.
I'm bumping up just for the ambition.
Yeah, okay.
I like the ambition.
Yeah. Good try, chaps.
Yeah.
And ladies. Shazamatron, and we have a whole boatload of listener minis this time around. In chronological order, the first one comes from Robert, aka OBX Pirate. Hello, Robert. Robert says, the time monster, you say? More like Attack of the Giant Stupid Pigeon that truly sucks at flying. Location, Atlantis? I thought the episode turned into a bad fan film called Remake of the Ten Commandments. Starring instead of Moses was none other than Boy George. Starring as the princess, who really was a queen, Raquel Welch, or King Tut's queen from Batman? Did they run out of money for a full dress, or did they want to display her assets? Sometimes I wish I was a black cat. By the way, am I in your TARDIS, or are you in my TARDIS? If confused, just lift the hand cover marked emergency and pull the red lever. After seeing Joe Grant in those smashing knee-high boots, I might go back to college to study fashion.
Tip of the day, you don't need a sword or gun to defeat a minotaur, just a little red rug and a little Venusian karate and shove the monster through a fake wall. I'd give a more thoughtful review, but I was constantly being frozen in time with the kernel, and I was also changed into a baby.
Oh no.
Stay away from crystal lamps sold on eBay. Oh my aching coccyx. Yeah, that was a good bit.
Oh yeah.
While I love the Master, the story trope is getting so very old. With the third Doctor trapped on Earth with an awesome yet ineffectual unit, the show does not seem like the Doctor Who of the first two seasons. Time to go. I'm needed by the strong and smart Dr. Ruth Ingram, and I will obey her. Obey her.
And he gives it 4.1. 4.1?
Fuck me.
Holy smokeroonies and cheesecakes, dudes. That's a pretty strong rating. Yeah. Okay, nice one. Thank you very much, Robert.
Next on the agenda, Kyle Rath.
Kyle Rath.
Kyle writes, are you happy with your current interstitial time provider? Perhaps you've experienced those long, annoying pauses between nagging, intrusive, pan-dimensional beings. Fanatical about subtextual mature male catfighting?
Well, you are in luck. This week's classic serial is about all of those things. Somehow.
The Doctor, rescued by Joe, repeatedly rushes around, not in the nick of time. The Master waves his throbbing trident of power at various old men while attempting to manhandle a stuntman in a white bird suit.
Who wins? The women. Joe, Dr. Ingram, Galea, even Kronos at the end for not taking any shit.
That's her fucking name.
You mean Glooly?
Gluna.
Gluna.
Who loses? Unit. Seriously, Mike Yates should find new work in, say, the environmental sector.
Oh.
Give me more of Sneaky Sergeant Benton, not falling for the fake voices. Too bad a 55-year-old spun him like a fucking top.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about the fake voices. Yeah. That's something the Master can suddenly do. Carl goes on. Bullet synopsis. Tom Tit, for fuck's sake.
Atlantis. Come for the fancy dress party. Stay for the bird flu.
Slow-mo running.
The random kitchen shit. Tilt-a-whirl device.
Oh, we didn't talk about that either.
Yeah.
What a waste of time that was.
Really was.
Sorry, next bullet points. David Prowse's predilection for wearing masks. The Minotaur.
Time rams melt steel handcuffs.
The fate of Ladder Guy, or did the fucking Tom Tit reverse that too? Forgot about Ladder Guy.
Yeah. The Brigadier for phoning it in. Bring some men with you. I feel as naked as a babe in the bath.
From opening crotch shot to closing birthday suit, it's a bit of a hard nut to swallow.
Oh, dude.
I feel like you and I are having opposite reactions to this.
2 out of 5 boner crystals.
Nice one. Thank you very much, Kyle Rath. People of Earth, you can follow Kyle on Twitter. He is at Sinister Super Spy. That's super without any vowels. Next up, we've got Matthew Dennison. Matthew! Hello, Matthew. Matthew goes, I've been looking forward to the Time Monster for a while, not because it's any good, but because it's the type of unbelievably naff story that makes for a classic Who Back When episode, so no pressure, guys.
There's too much bad stuff to fit into a mini-review, so I'll just pick some random points that stood out for me.
Number 1, the characterization of the regulars seems off. The Doctor is completely overbearing, while the Master has become a pantomime villain. And why does the Brigadier, the man tasked with defending the Earth from alien threats, and who has a time-traveling scientific advisor think Yates has been drinking when he reports seeing some roundheads? Good question.
Very good point.
Yeah.
The cliffhangers are laughable. The Master yelling, "Come, Kronos! Come!" When we haven't seen or heard anything of Kronos before, or bringing a doddery old man forward in time, hardly have the viewers desperate to see next week's episode.
Agreed. Kronos looks like what it is, a man in a cheap bird costume, and despite the talk about how powerful it is, can be defeated by shutting a door in its face.
There's some of the most blatant padding ever in episode 3 as the Doctor builds a time flow analog, which then falls apart.
Yep. There are a few positives. Atlantis looks good, and the charm of the regulars can shine through even a bad script. I enjoyed Ruth and Stuart, particularly their interplay with Benton, and Benton getting to outwit the Master, if only briefly, was a nice touch.
I'll give it a 1.5, although I had fun watching it. If you're going to make a bad episode, at least make it ridiculous and have the Doctor bullfight with the minotaur.
Oh, I forgot about that as well. Oh, wow.
He starts speaking Spanish. It's really funny.
Yeah, fantastic. It is super duper on point, Matthew. Nice one, thank you. Next up, we've got Peter Zunich. Zunich!
What up, Pete?
Hello, Peter.
So, Peter writes, this story has so many fun elements. The time experiments, a monster that lives in the vortex and eats time, the Doctor and the Master playing time tricks on one another, a frozen time bubble that only the time sensitives penetrate. A visit to Atlantis, the political intrigue therein, the Minotaur as the Crystal's guardian, the foreshadowing of a character that won't pay off for an entire 2 seasons, the dimensional clashes, all great ideas. It's rather sad that all this goodness just does not add up to an ideal story.
The Master is written too naive for his intelligence. The equal rights thing is poured on so thick that it interferes with the story progression. Some of the directing is poor. The man-bird is just plain goofy. There's way too much silliness with babies and backward speaking. Unit is useless, and the cast as a whole just doesn't seem into the present-day material. In the end, we're left with a script that is too goofy for a serious story, and yet too serious for a light-hearted one.
The second half is somewhat redeeming, and with amazing costumes, intriguing characters, and an ending that is just wickedly cool. I wish I could retroactively remove all the dull fluff in the present so we could spend more time in Atlantis and the Vortex. I love so much of this, yet I'm forced to give it a let's hang at my flat while all time goes to hell 2.2.
Nice one. Nice one,
Thank
Peter.
you, Peter.
Yes. Next up, Trenton Bless. Hello, Trenton.
What up, Trent? Trenton writes, people like to debate whether the Time Monster or the Mutants is the worst Pertwee story ever. I think the Mutants was just terribly average, not bad, but the Time Monster is a whole different story together.
Ooh.
This is the definite article when it comes to bad Pertwee.
The idea was good on paper, Trenton goes on. The Master wants to dominate the universe with a powerful being called Kronos, the Time Monster. But when your time monster looks like a Roman centurion crossed with a chicken made of marble, all this hype about this all-powerful Kronos sort of dribbles away. And really, a balancing act can stop a machine called Tom Tit? That's incredibly silly. I mean, even the story acknowledges it.
But as I bash this serial, it does have its highlights. The story the Doctor tells Jo while they are locked up. We did not talk about that.
We did not.
The Hermit.
Oh my goodness.
That was real. I don't know. I was in like an emotional space.
Were you a little teary-eyed?
I was a little. No, see, I don't know. I must have been had something else going on in my private life, but I was like a little bit. I got really into that bit.
Yeah.
Okay, shit. Sorry.
Yeah. No. Carry on.
Back in. So memorable, in fact, it was used to cheer friends up when they go to that dark place.
Yeah.
Atlantis was well done. Doctor Who was no stranger to the Lost City, referred to the underwater menace for more. And the Doctor and Jo were on form start to finish.
So what went wrong with this serial? Boneheaded decisions plus non-existent drama multiplied by a slim end-of-season budget and a terrible-looking monster gave the story a bad reputation. So the story is going to get a 1.8 out of 5 from me. If you can somehow make the Delgado Master look bad, you know you did something really wrong. Holy smokeroonies and cheesecakes. Trenton, awesome mini, thank you very much. Ladies and gents, you can follow Trenton online. He is at Trenton Bless. That's Bless with 2 S's. Yeah, okay. We've now had, was that 5 different listener minis?
Yeah.
Kind of, not entirely dissimilar, at least in terms of ratings, from what you gauged on Facebook. Right?
Yeah. Actually, I think Facebook was probably harsher.
Really?
Yeah, I think as a total. So there were lots of 0.5s in there and 1s. Yeah.
Oh, I disapprove of that. But yeah, okay, cool. Nice.
Yeah. So the next classic will be The Three Doctors.
The 10-year anniversary.
Bam.
Next time, which is going to be in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
We're going to have... We can celebrate having gone through a full decade of Classic Who.
Holy hot damn.
That's amazing.
And what next? What is the new Who that we're
the next new Who is going to be The Time of Angels, which we recorded yesterday.
Very good.
So I know that's a good one. And that's dropping tomorrow. No, wait.
Oh,
that's dropping
wait,
tomorrow. So the one after that is going to be Flesh and Stone, part 2 of that double feature. Sorry about that. And that's about it. On the bonus front, we have a mailbag app coming up very soon. Thank you very much, everyone who's sent stuff in to us. Keep them coming. We appreciate it. And at some point, we're doing the Just a Minute Doctor Who version, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah.
It's going to be, that's going to be, that's going to be good.
Drew's very excited.
Yeah. Oh, I'm very excited as well.
I'm nonplussed.
In the meantime, people can follow you on Twitter, can they not?
They can, at Nicolele.
They can follow me as well. I'm @Ponkin. You know how to spell that. Be rad and excellent to each other. Thanks for listening. Rock on. And ciao.
Boom.
Kablamo! Did you enjoy the show? Then please do what the cosmos compels you to and spread the gospel of Who Back When. Tell your friends. Don't have any friends? No problemo. Tell some strangers. Like us on Facebook. That's facebook.com/Who Back When. All in one word. Are you on Google Plus? Then find us on Google Plus. That's plus Who Back When. And when you do, tell us why you're on Google Plus. Who Back When just got its very own Twitter account, no lie, so give us a follow. You guessed it, that's @WhoBackWhen, all in one word. Check us out on SoundCloud, vote us up on Reddit, listen to us on Stitcher, and head on over to our website, whobackwhen.com, where you can leave a comment, submit a review of your own, and peruse our visual index of aliens, monsters, and more, which increases in kablamos with every episode. And lastly, give us a rating and review on iTunes. Not only would it make us super chuffed, and it really, really would, but as thanks, we will transmigrate your iTunes nom de plume into the credit list of trailers for fake Doctor Who audiobooks produced by Who Back When. Have a poke around our bonus episodes to make more sense of that. That's it. Rock on and be rad and excellent to each other. Catch your earballs in our next Classic Who review, New Who review, or, still funny, Audio Who review. Ciao.
Who Back When?